to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied, only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
Shannon Sharpe might just be holding on to a deep grudge against Monique and Katt Williams. And after seeing how everything went down, who could blame him? Katt's interview wasn't just a success. It was a straight-up takeover. That one sit-down had clips blasting across every single feed, and overnight, Shannon's couch turned into the spot for unfiltered truth with zero PR sugarcoating. Then Monique walked in, told her blackballing story, and casually dropped some heavyweight names that made Hollywood choke. From that point on, Shannon wasn't just interviewing anymore. He was letting guests spill secrets people usually bury 6 feet deep. And that's when the chaos really started. Then came the infamous late-night IG Live, the one Shannon probably wishes never saw the light of day. Add to that a lawsuit with audio receipts making the rounds, plus job drama that had already hit headlines twice, and you start wondering, were those explosive interviews the reason a target got painted on Shannon's back, or did his own slip-ups crack the door wide open for the takedown? Because let's be real, that Katt sit-down didn't just trend, it swallowed the internet whole. Names, wild stories, jaw-dropping claims, the type of talk that had comment sections going to war for days. The full interview didn't just pull in views, it straight up owned the timeline. Overnight, Club Shay Shay stopped being just another podcast and became the go-to confession booth for raw, no-holds-barred talk. Shannon went from NFL legend to the guy everyone wanted to see play culture referee.
Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
But here's the dark side. Once your show explodes like that, the rules change. You're no longer just asking questions. You're in the story now. People start rooting for you, sure, but they're also lurking, just waiting for you to slip. And trust, you could feel that shift. Shannon was hotter than ever, but the air around him got cold. Those viral moments made him a star, but they also made him a walking target. Which is exactly why that IG Live mess, the lawsuit, and the sudden job shakeup had folks whispering, maybe this wasn't just bad luck, maybe somebody set the stage for his fall. And here's the part nobody's forgetting. Right after Katt flipped the culture upside down, Monique strolled in and kept the fire blazing. She sat on that same couch and went all in, breaking down shady deals, exposing names, and telling her side about being blackballed. She didn't just share her truth, she threw darts at Hollywood's inner circle, and people were listening. The reaction?
Only for Tyler Perry to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied, only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong, and when my movie Boo come out, I'm gonna say that.
Instant. Clips of her interview were everywhere. Old beefs and dusty headlines came crawling out of the grave, and folks who never even cared about Shannon Sharpe's podcast before suddenly had his show on their radar. And just like that, the internet had a new arena for Hollywood call-outs, and Shannon was sitting dead center in it all. And just like that, sports fans weren't just tuning in for plays and scores anymore. They were locked in for culture talk. Every clip from Shannon's couch started feeling heavier. This wasn't just about laughs. This was about money, power, and who gets to stay in the game. 2 massive back-to-back interviews flipped the way people looked at him. The fans, eating it up, but the industry, watching him with side eyes. Yeah, the views shot through the roof, the guest list got bigger. But the vibe around Shannon started to feel different. Because once you hand a mic to people with nothing to lose, you're not just collecting clout, you're putting a spotlight on yourself, and not all spotlights are friendly. That heat followed him right out of the studio, and straight into his first big mistake, the infamous late-night IG Live that should have stayed in the drafts forever. Shannon didn't try to hit us with the "I got hacked" line. Nah, he owned it, talked about it on his show, and kept it moving.
Obviously, I'm embarrassed. Someone that is extremely, extremely private. And to have one of your most intimate details, the audio heard for the entire world to hear. I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons. People count on Shannon, Shay Shay Media, Club Shay Shay Nightcap, ESPN. There are a lot of people that count on Shannon to be professional at all times. And I always try to be professional at all times. Even when I'm behind closed doors, I still try to remain a level of professional, although I'm in the privacy of my own home.
But the internet split in two. Some folks were joking 50 Shades of Shay, while others reminded him, funny how life humbles you. UNC was clowning Ocho a few days ago for being unprofessional, and now look at him. Either way, the conversation stopped being about his guests. It was all eyes on Shannon. Before the laughs could even cool down, here came the lawsuit. And not the kind you can shrug off as rumor. A woman named Gabriela Zuniga dropped a $50 million case on him. Real court documents, real receipts. Her side had audio that hit the internet like a lightning strike. Within hours, it was reposted everywhere. People swore they knew the whole story off a 30-second clip. Shannon fought back, saying it was chopped up, missing context, and nothing like the picture being painted. But once something like that's in the public's hands, you can't stuff it back in the box.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so.
The fans split again, some saying, let the court handle it. Others treating that clip like it was already the verdict. Behind the scenes, brands and partners didn't make bold statements. They just went silent. That's how the game works. They wait to see where you land before they stand next to you. And still, Shannon kept showing up, lights on, cameras rolling, with a $50 million lawsuit shadowing his every move. That's when the whispers about a setup got louder. Too many hits, too close together, something wasn't adding up. Then came the job news, and it hit hard. 1 week he was on TV like nothing had changed. The next, gone. No big farewell, no speech, just a quiet exit. And the timing, right next to a big family moment, which made the sting even worse.
Now, ESPN confirming to NBC it's cutting ties with its NFL commentator Shannon Sharpe. The move coming after Sharpe, of course, the Hall of Fame tight end, settled a lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault and battery.
Before we get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week. And really, the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so, as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow.
Because losing a gig like that isn't just about the money. It's about pride. But TV or not, Shannon wasn't done. His podcast was still pulling wild numbers, clips still viral, bookings still coming in. The only thing that changed was the narrative. Without that TV role, people stopped calling him the host with the viral couch and started treating him as the headline.
And you keep on blacking out, and your pulse is slow. Stop trying to fight the reaper, just relax and let it go. That's how high I was. Wow. I was high.
Then summer 2025 brought another blow. Gamita Tillman hit Shannon, Ocho Cinco, and Shishi Media with a $20 million defamation suit. She claimed they pushed a fake story about her marriage after that viral Usher concert moment.
I'm taking this to Congress. This is not just stopping in the courtroom. This is about protecting all private citizens from people who have a bully pulpit, a cyberbullying pulpit that's funded by the tunes of tens of millions of dollars. Not only do they get money from advertisers, but they get money from monetizing click and bait and then licensing and resharing these shows. And that is why Chairman Guthrie, who was in charge of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce, first, and the other 54 members of that committee will be meeting with me this week so that we can put forth a hearing so that there can be legislation in place to be able to hold them accountable.
I know that's
Another headline, another storm, and the year wasn't even over yet. By this point, Shannon's year was looking less like a career run and more like a headline hit list. Every time he stepped out, another storm seemed to follow. The lawsuits, still hanging. The brands, still ghosting. And now, social media was dissecting his every move like it was the Zapruder film. Clips started resurfacing, old moments from past interviews where he laughed a little too hard, paused a little too long, or asked a question people swore had hidden meaning. The internet turned into a courtroom, with TikTok and Instagram users playing judge, jury, and executioner. Every past guest, every controversial clip, back in the feed like it just happened yesterday. And while Shannon was trying to keep his head above water, more shade started flying from unexpected places. Former co-workers, once silent, began hinting about behind-the-scenes drama during his TV days. One even posted, "Some people's true colors show when the cameras turn off," without naming names, but everyone in the comments assumed it was about him. The wildest twist? A couple of anonymous blind items started popping up on gossip blogs describing a fallen sports star turned podcaster who was feeling the heat from big names in entertainment after giving certain guests too much freedom to expose industry secrets. No one named him outright, but the shoe fit a little too well, and the internet ran with it. It was like the energy had flipped overnight. Just months before, celebs were lining up to sit on his couch. Now, some were suddenly too busy or mysteriously pulling out of confirmed appearances. And when one major A-list guest canceled last minute without explanation, the whispers hit overdrive. Somebody's making calls to shut this man down. Through it all, Shannon kept recording. He even posted clips trying to laugh off the drama, saying things like, "If I'm on your mind, I must be doing something right." But the smile didn't quite match the storm brewing around him, because while the internet drama was messy enough, the business side was turning ice cold. Sponsorship deals quietly expired without renewal. Live show plans got postponed indefinitely, and insiders claimed there were even talks about whether Club Shay Shay could survive if one more major controversy dropped. Then came the next hit. Not a lawsuit, not a viral clip, but a leak. An alleged internal email from a streaming partner made its way online, suggesting there were ongoing concerns about his brand image and potential reputational risks tied to future collaborations. Nobody could confirm if the email was legit, but by then, perception was everything, and Shannon's perception was in free fall. The conversation had shifted. He wasn't the host with the hottest couch in the game anymore. He was the guy everyone debated whether to stand next to. His story had become bigger than any guest's confession, and some people were openly betting on whether he'd even finish out the year without another bombshell dropping. And if the pattern was any clue, that bet wasn't looking good for Shannon. And this wasn't just some messy back and forth in the comments section. This was real, a court filing, paperwork with his name stamped on it for the world to see. The headlines flew like wildfire. Clips got snatched, reposted, slowed down, dissected. Everybody was debating what was said, what was hinted, and whether Shannon crossed a line he could never uncross. And once again, he wasn't reacting to somebody else's drama. He was the drama. Here's the part most people skip. Yeah, the case was eventually filed later, and some outlets claimed it got tossed out in federal court. But those updates, they didn't make the same noise as the original headlines. Not every platform ran the follow-up, and anybody who's been near a court case knows the paperwork and timing can twist the whole picture. Bottom line, the facts are still the facts. It was filed. Dismissal or not, the stain it left was real. While it was active, that lawsuit froze opportunities. Bookings slowed, brands got quiet, and Shannon's name stayed chained to controversy instead of his work. Then came the fan theories, and they spread quick. Some swear it all started the moment he gave Katt Williams and Monique that couch. 2 guests, 2 cultural earthquakes, and Hollywood allegedly wasn't about to let that slide. The machine theory says Shannon gave people a live mic, they told truths the industry didn't want aired, and the powers that be decided to remind him exactly who runs the game. Or maybe it wasn't that deep. Maybe the spotlight just got too big. The margin for error disappeared. One IG slip, a couple private messages, and a few on-air moments. Suddenly, every tiny misstep turned into a headline. What's not up for debate? The heat never cooled. After those interviews, every week brought a new clip, a new headline, a new reason for people to pick a side. And when the lawsuits dropped, it stopped feeling like gossip. It became legal, public, and high stakes. So here we are. The paperwork might be done, but the guessing game isn't. Was Shannon taken down by the system, or did he hand them the ammo himself? With TV gone and legal trouble still lingering, his next move could flip the script or seal his fate for good. And if his name pops up in one more headline, we'll know this ain't just another chapter. This is the turning point, or the end. Like, subscribe, and see you on the next one.